What up, big time gang? Welcome back to another Time Big Time video. This one is the Egard Quantus version 3. Cool watch. Never in a million years would I have bought this watch, just because looking at it in photos doesn't do it justice. I can honestly say my homie Echo was right, and I like it a lot more in person. So to me, this always looked like an upside down egg. I know where that design came from. It's unique. It's special. Ilan, the CEO, created this original watch for his pops, his father. And I respect it, 100% respect it. But for me, looking at this, I just always saw an egg. And so I couldn't ever consider even purchasing it because of that. And so that's one of those things that, you know, once you get it into your head, you can't unsee it. So years and years that went by. This was a cool watch. I love the tourbillon. I'll put a picture of the tourbillon up right now. $2,000, which is way out of any type of money I'd ever spend on a Swiss watch right now. It's especially an Egard that, you know, might not hold even half its value. But that watch is gorgeous. That tourbillon Quantus is just wow. I gotta say, every time I see that picture, I'm like, man, if I could only convince Ilan I need it on a permanent loan. But anyway, so this watch is cool. I've worn it a couple times now. I've had it for about 2 weeks, and I can say that my mind has changed. I don't know if it's a keeper yet, but I definitely feel different about it than I did when I originally had seen the photo. So, unique curve case. So, I mean, you can see the curvature is also from the 12 to the 6. And then also just the whole case in itself is just oblong shape. You know, there's no exact oval or circle. It's an oblong for sure. So that means you have a specially designed sapphire crystal, and it also curves with the case. So you can see that it does have like a dome to it too, but it also curves because the case is not 100% flat. The 6 o'clock definitely droops down. Limited edition, which anything over like 500 to 1,000, I feel isn't really limited edition anymore. This one I have, I think is 3201, and I got this one from Echo. But yeah, it says 3201 down there, so that means over 3,000 have been made. I'm guessing that's what that stands for. So limited edition to me is a small number, you know, 150. I meant 50 or 100. You know, even 500 is limited edition, but you get into like the 1,000. And I mean, it's not very limited anymore. 1,000 is not what I would call limited. I would say maybe limited production or something. I don't know. But this is a limited to 3,000 is what the website says. I have 3201. So I'm guessing these sold well and they went over the 3,000 limited that they were planning on doing. Ilan, in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong. I would appreciate it greatly. So I'm trying to figure out the movement. And I'm shooting this video. I'll do a second video if I do get more details. But I believe this is a double balance wheel. Double barrel, what you would call it. Shanghai Jinghe Industrial Co. movement. That's all I know. There's a 20 jewel. There's a 25 jewel. There's a 27 jewel. I'm guessing this is probably the 20 jewel. I do not know. But it's mechanical. It is not automatic. You have to wind it. Don't know if you can hear that, but you have to wind it up. There is no jiggle of the wrist to get this one to move. And I think automatic rotor might have a problem in this case shape. So that might be the reason why, or just the this particular movement doesn't come automatic. It just comes in mechanical. Let's see. It comes with the rubber strap and a leather. I got it on this bracelet and I did not get the leather with it. I think I'd rather have a bracelet than a leather strap anyway. I live in Arizona and it's hot, so no complaints there. I did get this watch used. One of the things that I didn't know it had until I received the watch that I really like is the Mayan calendar on the back. If you don't know, I am half Mexican and I do have the Aztec or Mayan calendar this face tattooed on me. And I think that is very, very cool to have this on the back of the watch. So I dig it. You see this bracelet, this is not factory to this watch. This is an aftermarket bracelet that my homie Echo put on it before I got it. And this is a 5.5 millimeter thick bracelet. This thing is ginormous. So there it is. Something I wouldn't choose for sure, but it works with this watch. So it kind of balances out the watch because the watch is pretty top heavy. We'll get into that right now. But this is an aftermarket bracelet. This watch only comes with the rubber strap and the leather. So this bracelet is completely a one of one for this watch. But this watch with this bracelet on, size to my 8-inch wrist, weighs 236 grams. She is one chunky monkey. I didn't see a weight on the website for just the actual case. And I didn't feel like taking the bracelet off. So I do not have a weight of just what the case would weigh. But we do have 43 millimeter case diameter. 47 millimeter if you go all the way out to the crown. I did 43 at the apexes of the widest part, which is right above the crown. 15 millimeters thick. She is chunky, but it wears well. It actually works. 15 millimeters is kind of like the limit now. Like if you get up to 17, it just gets ridiculous. 19. 15 isn't bad. I can work with this, and that is including the crystal and the case back. 51 millimeter lug to lug. Not too bad for the size of the watch. 51 is about normal. 22 millimeter lug width. So any 22 millimeter strap or bracelet will work. 6.5 millimeter signed push-pull crown. This is not a screw-down crown. And we only get 50 meters of water resistance. And the way this case is shaped, I'm not even sure that gasket's actually making any kind of seal. So I wouldn't even splash this thing, me personally. Washing your hands is about as far as I'd go. But definitely a cool watch. The lume is pretty much non-existent. There is lume on all the white numerals there, but it's not great, and I will show you that. But you're not buying this to be a lume monster. And then telling the time is not fun at all. With our old aging eyes, you know, unless you're 20 years old, the older I get, the harder it is to read. And the reason I even got this watch was because Echo couldn't read the dial easily anymore. So there was no point in wearing the watch. So right now it is 11:33, 11:34, somewhere around there. And if you look, there's an arrow way up there between the 12 and 11. And that's what you line everything up with when you're setting it and how you read it. So you got in between the 11 and 12, so you know it's 11. And then we're past the 30, not quite to the 35 yet. So I'd say like 11:34 is what time it is right now. So that's how you set this watch. You do have the cool dual escapement wheel going. Gotta love that feature. I've always liked that look. I don't know why. It doesn't really do much for the movement itself, but it's a good look. And for somebody that doesn't know watches, that's, wow, a breathtaker. I'm not really into skeleton dials or showing this anymore. I kind of like plain, simple, legible dials. This was something that I wanted to get into because I could trade for it through Echo and experience it. And I'm glad I did. I like this watch. Like I said, not sure if it's a keeper yet. I'm going to wear it a few more times, but it's definitely a cool experience nonetheless. And I get to share it with the big time gang. So if anything else happens, maybe I'll do a comparison beside a traditional dive watch or, something else and do a side by side with this watch. But for now, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for a few photos and we'll see you in the next one. God bless.